And we're going live right now. Cool. So just in your comfortable seat, maybe it's cross-legged, maybe your legs are out long, maybe removing the flesh from underneath you to feel a little bit more grounded. You can place your hands on your knees, on the ground. You can have your palms face up or palms face down. Maybe gently close your eyes. Just take a few moments to find a center for yourself. You might close your eyes if that feels comfortable as well. Just bringing some attention to the breath, bringing attention to how your body's feeling right now in this moment. And as you sit here, just focusing on the breath, focusing on the posture, I'm going to read again another excerpt from the Radiance Sutras. And you can just listen and maybe a line or a word pops up in your mind that you might want to focus on. Maybe you hold that thought with you during your practice. So this is Sutra 81 and 82. Drop the thought, I am this body. Abandon the limitation. I am only here in this specific place and time. Embrace instead, I am not my body. I am not this place. I am not this time. There is no place. There is no time. Realize I am everywhere, sustained by infinite bliss. Trees have desires, rocks have knowledge, jugs are empty of fullness and joy. All embodied ones have this in common. All are propelled by the same one, whose pulse beats in your breast, delightfully in kinship everywhere. Just taking in a few more rounds of inhales and exhale. Maybe you deepen, maybe you lengthen those inhales a little longer. Maybe you deepen, maybe you lengthen your exhales to match the inhale. Inviting yourself to deepen the breath, making it a little bit more audible. May you find stillness in this practice. May you find stillness during your day and quietude in your body. If you have your eyes closed, you can gently open your eyes. If you have a cross-legged seat, you can switch the cross of your legs if that's comfortable. And then gently just take your hands behind you and try to press down on the ground so that your chest comes forward and maybe your chin lifts slightly. Just opening up the front body. And then exhale, your chin tucks. You can bring your hands around front or on your knees and around your spine in the opposite way. And then reach behind you once again. Reverse that movement. Press the chest forward, chin lifts. Exhale, chin tucks, hands in front of you, round the spine like a cat back. And then just take over a few times at your own pace. Back and forth through those two shapes. Maybe your seat lifts a little bit as you press your chest forward. And maybe when you round and have your hands in front of you, your seat can lift once again. So warming up through the spine, not forcing anything, just taking your time. And take one more round with your hands behind you and your hands extended in front of you. And then come back to a steady seat. And we're going to take a twist. So the left hand is going to come over to the right knee. The right hand will come behind us, and we'll just gently twist open to the right. Trying to sit up tall through the spine. And gently twisting open. Try not to force anything. Just allow your body, your chest, your shoulders to initiate that movement. Then come back to center and switch sides. Right hand on left elbow, left hand behind you. Just gently opening up for a twist to the left. Trying to link your breath with movements. So inhale, we come back to center. And then bring the hands behind you. Interlace your fingers. Try to punch your fists down so it rolls your shoulders back. Try to get your hands away from your back. And then gently just fold forward. Keep trying to lift your fist up towards the ceiling. And breathe. Inhale, slowly come up and release the grip behind your back. And then just circle your shoulders up, back, and down. It can be small circles or big circles. You have the option to do one shoulder at a time. And then reverse, so bring your shoulders forward. Just trying to loosen up the neck and the shoulders. And then come back to a steady seat. Take the right hand over to the right and inhale, the left arm comes up and over for a side body stretch. You might want to bend that right elbow, maybe even your forearm goes onto the ground. We're just trying to find length and open up that left side. And breathe. So inhale, you find length. Drawing all the way up from the left hip, all the way through the left fingertips. And exhale, maybe you sink a little lower. And then inhale, come back up and switch sides. So left hand over to the left, right arm comes up and over for a side body stretch. Just taking note, a mental scan of how this side could possibly feel different than the first side. Where are you holding tension today? Can you try to release it? Then inhale back to center and take it over to the right one more time. Big body side stretch. Inhale back up to center. And over to the left one more time. And up to center. We're going to take an eagle wrap with our arms. So our arms are out in front. We're going to bring the right elbow underneath the left and then twist our hands around. So ideally your right hand would be in the palm of your left hand. If you could just grab your wrist, that's no problem. So just wrapping the arms. I'm sorry, it's really hard to see because I'm wearing black. So if you have that bind in your hands, try to lift your fingertips up towards the ceiling and feel that stretch in your shoulders. Your chin might tuck slightly. Keep lifting the fingertips up just a little higher. And exhale, release that bind and switch sides. So the left elbow comes underneath the right. You twist your hands around, trying to clasp the right fingertips in, the left fingertips in the right hand. Or maybe it just grabs the wrist. And then extend your fingertips towards the sky. Chin can tuck slightly. One more big inhale. And exhale, release and shake it out. And then find yourself in a child's pose. So knees widen out. Hands extend out in front. Your hips sink towards your heels. And you allow your forehead to come down onto the mat. So child's pose is a place of rest. So anytime that you feel like you need a little moment to recollect yourself, you can always come back to this child's pose. Focusing on the breath. And slowly walk your hands up towards your knees. You can bring your knees about hip width distance apart to a kneeling seat. So I'm going to tuck my toes under and start to sit back onto my heels so I'm getting a nice toe stretch. Sitting up tall, my hands are on top of my thighs. We're going to move into some kneeling sun salutations. So on an inhale, I'm going to come to rise onto my knees. Arms inhale overhead. Exhale, hands to the mat. I walk my fingertips forward to a puppy pose. So maybe you get your chest down, maybe not. And then I'm just going to slide through a cobra pose. So just a little baby back bend to begin with, nothing forced. And then my hands are down, in between my shoulders, pressed back to downward facing dog. Then lower the knees, come back to sit on your heels. Inhale the arms up. And exhale, hands through heart center. So we'll move through that little flow just a few more times to warm up. So inhale, hips lift, arms reach up. Exhale, hands to the mat, walk your fingertips forward, puppy pose. Inhale, slide through cobra, lift with the chest and shoulders. Exhale, downward facing dog. Heels working down towards the mat. Lower the knees, come to sit back into kneeling. Arms reach overhead. And exhale, hands to heart center. And another round. Inhale, arms rise, hips lift forward. Exhale, hands down, puppy pose. Inhale, slide through cobra. Exhale, down dog. Lower the knees, sit back into kneeling. Inhale, the arms reach up. And exhale, hands at heart center. Beautiful. Inhale, hips, arms lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. Puppy pose. Inhale through cobra. Exhale, press back downward facing dog. Lower the knees, hips towards heels. Arms reach up. And exhale, hands at heart center. One more just like that. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hands down, puppy pose. Slide through Cobra. Exhale, press back, down dog. You can hold this down dog, just stay right here. So just like child's pose, down dog is a resting pose as well. Sometimes it doesn't feel like rest, but eventually your body will learn how to soften in this pose. Maybe you bicycle out your heels. Your feet should be about hip width distance apart. So lowering one heel to the mat while the other one lifts, and then changing sides. And you might want to roll up onto your toes. That feels good. Just feel free to move in this down dog however you need to. This is your practice. I'm just here to make some suggestions. So let's talk about the hands for a minute. So your hands are at the top of the mat. Your fingers are spreading wide and your fingers are clawing into the mat. It helps take pressure off the wrist. So active hands. We're pressing down through all the knuckles. Really gripping the mat. Then take your gaze back towards your feet. And come back to a steady downward facing dog. And gaze towards your hands and slowly walk your feet to meet your hands. As many steps as you need to. Meeting in a forward fold. So bend your knees as much as you need to get your flat hands on the mat. Let your neck be soft, let gravity just pull your torso down, your head down. And inhale, halfway lift, hands on shins, flat back. And exhale, forward fold, hands to the mat. Inhale, roll up through the spine, slow and controlled, there's no rush. It's Saturday morning, you don't have anywhere to go. Just be here, take your time. When your shoulders get over your hips, you can roll your shoulders down, your back, and getting ready for some sun salutation. So inhale, the arms come up. Exhale, swan dive, hinge at the hips, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, hands to the mat, step back to plank. Try to get your shoulders to stack right above your wrists. Your body's flat. Your hips aren't too high or too low. Try to get your body as straight as you can. Your heels are reaching towards the back of your mat. You're clawing down, finding that same grip we did in down dog. Gaze slightly forward. And use your breath to start warming up your body in this plank pose. Use your breath to get you through it when it gets hard. And send your elbows back, lower down with control, chaturanga. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, cobra. If you feel ready, go for upward facing dog. And then exhale, toes tuck, roll through your spine, downward facing dog. And breathe here for 3, for 2, 1. Gaze up towards the fingertips and walk your feet to meet your hands. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, roll up through the spine, heavy hands. And arms reach overhead. Inhale for length. And exhale, maybe you bend back just a little bit, pressing the hips forward. And inhale up to center. And exhale, hinge at the hips, forward fold. Halfway lift, hands on shins, flat back. Exhale, hands down, step or hop back to plank. We're gonna hold our plank. The plank is a great pose for your whole body. It works everything. It gets your abs going, your legs, your arms, your shoulders. Just remember to breathe. If you need a little challenge, maybe make some circles with your shoulders, your body in that plank pose. Kind of shifting the weight around in your hands. And come back to a steady plank and lower down chaturanga with control for 3, 2, 1. Cobra or upward facing dog. Roll your shoulders down, send your chest forward and up. Exhale, chin tucks, roll back, downward facing dog. Down dog for 3. For 2. Inhale, take your gaze towards the top of the mat. You can hop or step your feet to meet your hands. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, roll up through the spine, heavy hands, arms reach overhead. An option to have a little back bend. Inhale, up through center. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, hands down, feet hop or step back to plank. Holding your plank, really press the ground away. It helps engage the shoulders. Really press your heels towards the back of your mat. Keep breathing. Feel the core working, stabilizing. Lower down chaturanga for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, cobra, upward facing dog. Take a peek over your right shoulder. And back to center and take that peek over to the left. Back to center, big inhale. And exhale, chin tucks, roll back, downward facing dog. So bicycle out your heels again if it feels good. How are your fingers? Are they spread wide? Are they clawing the mat? Try to think about that every time you come into these weight-bearing positions on your hands. And then pick up the right foot and just gently slide it down the left ankle. My right foot's on the outside of my left foot. And then I'm going to try to press my left heel down towards the mat. Just start maybe feeling like a hamstring stretch in that left leg. And then release the right leg's foot to the mat and change sides. So just take the left foot and try to snake it down around the right ankle. And try to get that right heel down on the ground. And release the left foot, come back to a steady downward facing dog. And bring your feet together towards the back of the mat. And inhale, the right leg comes up for 3-legged dog. So that hip is closed, your toes are pointing down and the right heel is lifting. So that's a closed hip. And then bend your left foot towards your glute, your right heel towards your glute, and just try to make some hip circles, going counterclockwise a few times, and then clockwise. And remember to breathe. And then set the right foot down. Inhale, the left foot comes up, closed hip, 3-legged dog. Bend the left heel towards your glute and take those circles in the counterclockwise direction a few times. Then the other way. Then back to steady down dog. Go ahead and release your knees to the mat. Take a quick child's pose. So Melanie was supposed to be in this class. She missed Tuesday and really wanted to do moon salutations. So I put it in the flow today. So if you guys did these on Tuesday, then you're familiar. And if you haven't done it, then you'll learn something new. You can come up to like a kneeling seat for a second. In moon salutations, we do pyramid and triangle pose. So if you think that you might need the assistance of a block, you can just have your block handy. And then come to a downward facing dog. Once again. And then just walk your hands back to meet your feet. And hang out in a forward fold at the back of your mat. And slowly roll up through your spine, heavy hands. And then we're going to turn so that we're facing the long edge of the mat, and I'm at the back of my mat to start these moon salutations. So our feet are together. So really zip your legs up. So press down through all edges of your feet, your toes, your heels, your blades. Zip those legs up, squeeze the thighs together. Inhale, the arms reach up overhead. And then exhale, take your fingertips over to the left and your hips out to the right. Inhale up to center. And exhale, take it the other way. So hips to the left, fingers to the right. Side body stretch. Inhale up through center. And then exhale, lower your hands at a T. Take your left foot, step it out to the middle of your mat. And then turn your feet so that they're out at 45 degrees. So we're going into a goddess squat. So I'm going to attempt to start sitting low. And this first time, I'm not going to do anything with my arms. If you want, you can have them at a T, you can cactus them. But right now, just get comfortable in the bottom half of your body. So maybe you move around a little bit in a squat. So the difference is if my feet were pointed forward, I would be lower. But my feet are turned about 45 degrees out, so I feel more of an inner thigh stretch. So this is our goddess squat position. And then send your arms out at a T, straighten both legs, turn the right toes about 90 degrees, your left toes point forward. We're going into triangle pose. So hinge at the hips, lean the left arm down, right arm up. So if you have a block, you might have a block under your left hand to help you. So this right hip is open. I'm working to stack my shoulders. I'm reaching my hands away. Triangle. And then exhale, both hands down around the front foot here. Shorten your stance. So we're going to close that hip. So bring the right toes up a little farther. Both of my feet are pointing towards the top of my mat. And I'm trying to fold over my straightening left leg. Put a little bend into that front knee. Lengthen out your stance and gently lower the right knee, shin, toes. Low lunge. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, bend back, press your hips forward. Inhale up to center. Exhale your hands down on either side of the left foot. We're going to turn to face the long edge of our mat. So this is a side lunge. My left glute's over my left heel, and I've allowed my right toes to come up. You want to try to keep the left heel down, but if it pops up, no problem. And then just take that shape to the back of your mat. So now my left toes are up, my right glute's over my right heel. Turn to face the back of your mat. We're working into that low lunge. So gently lower the left knee, shin, toes. Inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, bend back, press your hips forward. Inhale up through center. Exhale, hands down on either side of the right foot. Step your back foot forward, pyramid pose. Working to fold over the straightening right leg. So your legs are straight, but there's a micro bend in your knees. And just imagine what it might feel like if you could get your forehead to touch your right knee. You might not do it, no problem. Just imagine what that might feel like. So we're gonna go into triangle. If you want to keep your feet where they are, no problem. Just lift the left hand up. If you want to take a triangle, you'll lengthen out that stance a little bit and turn those back toes out just to open up that left hip. Working to stack the shoulders, reaching the fingertips away. And then press through your feet. Inhale, your torso, your arms rise up, so you're like in a warrior two almost. Turn the left toes out, find that goddess squat. So any arm position you like, might be a T, you can cactus your arms. Just try to sit low. Equal weight in both feet. Your back is straight as if you were going to slide down the wall behind you. Then bring your arms up overhead. Press through the left foot, right foot meets left at the top of the mat. Inhale, arms reach up. And exhale, fingers to the left, hips to the right. Inhale through center. And exhale, fingers to the right, hips to the left. Inhale up through center. Take a big step out with the right foot to the center of your mat. Turn your feet out. Sit down low, find that goddess squat. Can you sit a little lower? And then straighten your legs, arms out at a T. Left foot turns, right toes towards the back of the mat, triangle pose. So hinge at the hips, right arm down, left arm up, triangle. You might gaze down at the foot, the right foot. You can gaze up at the top hand. Just whatever feels good in your neck. And then exhale, take your hands on either side of the right foot. Step the back foot forward and fold over your right leg. Put a little bend to the right leg. Lengthen your stance. Gently lower the left knee, shin, toes. Low lunge. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, bend back, press your hips forward. Inhale up through center. Exhale, hands down on either side of the right foot. We're going to that side lunge. So turn to face the long edge of your mat. Right glute over right heel, left toes are up. And then take that shape as gracefully as you can to the top of your mat. Maybe your right toes come up. Then turn to face the top of your mat. We're working to that low lunge. So gently lower the right knee, shin, toes. Inhale, arms reach up. Bend back. Inhale through center. Exhale, hands down on either side of the left foot. Shorten your stance, pyramid pose. Folding over that left leg. And lengthen your stance out a little bit. Turn your right toes about 45 degrees. Inhale, the right arm comes up, triangle pose. Stacking the shoulders. Straightening through the legs. Press through both feet. Inhale, the torso and arms rise. Find that deep squat in the middle of your mat. So I had to turn my right toes out 45 degrees to make that happen. Really challenge yourself here. Use your breath to find length, sitting up tall through your spine. And exhale, maybe you lower into that squat a little more. Put your attention, your weight into that right foot. Left foot meets right at the back of the mat. Arms reach up. And exhale, take it over to the left, hips to the right. Try to get that right shoulder behind your right ear. Inhale, come up. And exhale, take it to the other side.
The same thing, try to get that left bicep behind your ear. Open that shoulder, inhale up through center. Exhale, gently lower your hands towards heart center and close your eyes just for a moment. Maybe feel your heart beating against your thumbs. Finding a moment of peace. Can you slow your heart rate using your breath? And if you have your eyes closed, you can open them, release your hands down by your sides. We'll do one more little kind of standing. We'll do a little chair sequence. If you need some water, feel free to grab it. I made some coffee because it's really cold. It's about 65 degrees in my house. So take a little water break, coffee break. And then come to the top of your mat. Have your feet together. So once again, same thing, zip those legs up. Really squeeze your legs together. Your feet together, your ankles, your calves. We're going to sit our hips back, working towards a chair pose. So make sure you can see all of your toes. You don't want your knees to go too far out. You want to keep your knees behind your toes. Really squeeze those legs together. Sit your hips low, and then send your arms up overhead. So your biceps should be right in line with your ears. Take your gaze up towards your fingertips. Send energy through those fingertips. Energy in your toes. Gazing up at the fingertips. Maybe you turn your pinky fingers in slightly. Keep sitting your hips back low. And breathe. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back to plank. Lower down for a chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, upward facing dog. Exhale, chin to chest, roll back down dog. Feet together at the back of the mat. Inhale, the left leg comes up. Step it between the hands. And come up for a warrior one. So arms reach overhead. You can stay in a crescent lunge where your back heel is lifted, or you can plant that heel for warrior one. Your option. I'll leave it up to you. And exhale your hands down by your foot. Lower down chaturanga. Maybe that left foot hovers. Inhale, cobra, upward facing dog. Exhale, chin to chest, roll back down dog. Inhale, right leg comes up, step it in between the hands. Getting ready for that crescent lunge. Arms reach up, or warrior one. Take the left heel down. Really bending into that front knee. Knees going out towards the pinky toe. Exhale, hands down. Step the right foot back, lower down chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, upward facing dog. Exhale, chin to chest, roll back down dog. Gaze towards the top of the mat. Hop your feet to meet your hands. Feet together, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, roll up through the spine, arms reach overhead, bend back. So sit low, scoop your glutes in, then bend back. It helps relieve some pain in the lower back. If you feel pain, you need to come out of it. If you feel discomfort, no problem. Inhale, come up through center. Exhale, sit back, chair pose. Nice and low. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, lower down, back to plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, upward facing dog. Exhale, back down dog. Nice. Take a few rounds of breath here in this down dog. Check back in with your hands. Really clawing those fingertips into the mat. Feet together at the back of the mat. Inhale, right leg comes up. Step it in between the hands. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, hands down, step the right foot back. Take your version of a vinyasa or skip it. We all meet in down dog. Inhale, the left foot comes up, three-legged dog. Step it in between the hands. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, hands down, left foot to the back. Take your vinyasa. We all meet in downward facing dog. Do bicycling out the heels again if it feels good. Feet together at the back of the mat. Inhale, lift your heels as high as they'll go. And as slowly as you can, roll through to a plank. Slow and controlled. Finding that plank, pressing the ground away. Heels reaching to the back of the mat. Bend your elbows lower down with control. 3, 2, 1. Lower all the way down. Untuck your toes. Gently allow one cheek to go to the side. Arms can go out long. And just take a moment of rest. And bring your chin to center. Take your hands underneath your shoulders. We're going to work for a little Sphinx pose. So we're going to place our hands out in front of us a little bit. I'm lowering down on my elbows. So if I were to take my hands and put them to opposite elbows, it would be right in line, and then I open up my hands and put them back. So this position is where you should be for down dog, dolphin pose, forearm stand. Everything should be this width. And then for Sphinx, we're just going to slide the chest forward, lift up, the chin lifts. Press through the hands. And breathe. And then lower back down. You can switch which cheek was on the mat the first time. You can send your arms out to a T, send them out in front of you, send them behind you. Just trying to slow the practice down. If you set an intention, or maybe you were focused on a phrase or a word that I read earlier, can you come back to that for a moment? Can you recall what that was? Then take your heels and bring them towards your glutes. And then try to reach around the left hand for a grip on the left foot and the right hand for a grip on the right foot. So I'm extending my toes. I'm going to lift up. I'm going to roll my shoulders back, lift up, kick into my hands. Maybe my knees and thighs lift off the floor for a bow pose. So you're kicking into your hands, you're pulling your feet, you're lifting the chest. Keep lifting and breathing. Nice big breaths. Holding this pose for 3, for 2, and 1. Gently release your legs, your feet, your hands to the mat. Your cheeks, either side. Can you feel your heart beating a little faster? It's really fascinating sometimes to think about the heart and it beating and how it's what keeps us going every day, every moment. It makes breathing a little sweeter, something that I know I take for granted every day.
Then send your arms out at a T position. And we're gonna pick up the right leg. So bend that right heel towards your glute and pick your knee up so your leg comes up. And then start to reach your right foot over towards the left hand. So it might not go there today, no problem, just over in that direction. And then my left cheek is on the mat and I'm looking over towards my right hand. So arms are out at a T. And if it's available to you, you can grab the right hand in that the right foot in the left hand. My right shoulder's popping up a little bit, it's fine. But my left shoulder's on the ground, my left cheek is on the mat. And I'm breathing. Wherever you are, you're just reaching that right foot away from you on the other side. And then draw that leg back across. Keep lifting that right heel up. And gently lower that leg down on the mat next to the other one. So same thing, other side, arms out at a T. Bend your left heel towards your glute and then lift that leg up. So still in that like closed hip position. And then gently take that left foot over towards the right hand and allow your right cheek to rest on the mat. And maybe you grab that foot with the right hand. If you can't, no problem. If you have the grip, you can release it and draw that left leg back across, lifting the heel up. Then exhale, lower your feet to the mat. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders and press back up through a downward facing dog. No rush, take your time. Inhale, the right leg comes up. Three-legged dog. Bend the heel towards your glute. Shift forward towards a plank pose. Working towards pigeon. So just gently lower the right knee down by the right hand. And let that shin calf go wherever it needs to. For some people, it's parallel with the top edge of the mat. For me, it's almost like my right foot is like right where my left hip is. Inhale, grow tall, walk your hands up towards your body. Peek behind you, make sure that your back foot is parallel with the long edge of your mat. And then exhale, just gently, slowly forward fold over that bent leg. You can rest your forehead on your hands, making fists, or maybe your forehead goes all the way to the mat. We just breathe here. We're going to be here for a few moments. If you feel some discomfort, it's because the pose is working. Try to breathe through it. If you need a little extra, you can always scoot the left foot back a little farther, maybe intensifying that stretch a little more. Gently walk your hands up towards your body. Go back, tuck those left toes under. We're going to go back to three-legged dog, right leg up in the air. Exhale that right leg down, changing sides. Inhale, left leg comes up, three-legged dog. Bend the left heel towards your glute, shift forward to that plank position, and then gently lower the left knee by the left hand. Allow the right leg to be long behind you. Take a peek over, make sure that that leg and foot is parallel with the long edge of the mat. Grow tall. Take a big inhale at the top. And exhale, start to gently fold down over that bent left leg.
If you need more, you have the option to tuck those right toes under, scooch that foot and leg back, and then release the toes back down. And walk your hands back up towards your body. Tuck those right toes under, press through your hands, three-legged dog, left leg in the air. And exhale, that left leg comes down. Gently lower your knees to the mat, widen them out. We're gonna come back to a child's pose. Hips towards heels, arms extended out long, forehead on the mat. Then just come up onto your forearms for a second and switch the direction of your feet. So my big toes are together. I'm gonna take them to the opposite side. So now the blades of my feet, my big toes are on the ground. And I have to widen out my knees a little bit. This is called frog pose. So then you're just gonna sit back towards your heels again. So you might not go as deep as you would in a child's pose. But maybe you feel something similar to what you felt in that goddess squat. If it feels good, you can allow your forehead to come down onto the mat and have your arms extending long. And breathe. Then however you need to come out of that pose, maybe like you come back to your forearms, you walk your knees back in, just gently come out of that frog pose. And then just roll over onto your back. Taking your time. Legs extended long, arms by your side. Then we're gonna go to side corpse. So inch out your left foot, maybe it comes off to the mat towards the left. And then we're gonna take our hands underneath our head. And the same thing, the left elbow is gonna kind of crunch down towards that left leg. So you're creating like a C shape in your body. And only if it feels good, you can drape that right ankle across the left ankle. But both shoulders should be down on the ground. Maybe the left elbow, left foot are off the mat. And just relax in this side corpse. And then inch your shoulders back to center. You can undrape the right foot from the left. Come back to just a regular corpse pose. You can keep that grip behind your head. And we're going to take it over to the other side. So start to walk that right ankle off to the right, off of your mat. And then start to inch your shoulders over, like you're crunching your right elbow down towards your right foot. And if it feels good, you can drape that left ankle on top of the right ankle. The same shape, different side. Shoulders on the mat. And gently come back to center, undrape the legs. Finding center on your mat again. You can release your hands from underneath your head. And then bring your knees up, feet on the mat, and gently drape that across the right knee on top of the left knee, and just allow both knees to gently fall over to the left. So both shoulders should be down. You can have your arms in a T position. You can have your arms still behind your head if you want, just whatever feels comfortable for you. Just let those knees relax over to the left side. And bring your knees back up to center, uncross the right leg, switch sides, cross the left leg on top of the right knee. And then gently just let your knees fall open to the right side. And bring your knees back to center, uncross the legs. We're going to happy babies. So send your feet up towards the ceiling. You can bend your knees, reach up for a grip on your feet. So your hands can grab the inside of the feet, the outside of the feet. You can grab peace fingers to the big toes. Whenever you get that grip, really pull into the feet, kick back into the hands, and allow your knees to go out towards the outside of your body. And breathe. The back of the head should be on the mat, your spine, your tailbone. Make this pose active. Keep kicking through the hands, pulling back through the feet. You can add a little movement, a little side to side rock, front and back rock, giving your back a little massage. Then release the grip with your hands. Send your legs out long on the mat. And then draw your right knee up and clasp the shin with your hands. Give that right knee a good squeeze, a pull in towards your body. Your left leg is extended long. Really squeeze, pull that knee in towards your chest. Then your right arm can come out to the right. Gently guide that right knee across your body with the left hand, taking a nice spinal twist. So you're gently guiding that right knee down and across your body. Relaxing. You take any gaze that you like over to the left, over to the right, straight up at the ceiling or sky. Draw that right knee across your body. Give it a good squeeze. Hug it back in. Then extend your right leg out long and haul up the left knee. Reach around on the shin with the hands. Pull that left knee in. Give it a good squeeze. You should feel something maybe in your hip crease. Really squeezing. Send the left arm out to the left and gently guide the left knee over to the right with your right hand. Relax. If you find a place that gets sticky, you can make little circles with your knee. Just try not to force anything. Just let gravity and your right hand pull that left knee over gently. And inhale that left knee back across your body. Give it a good squeeze in towards your chest. You can even invite the right leg to come up and squeeze both knees in towards your chest. And gently release your feet to the mat. Send your knees out, feet together. Recline, bound ankle pose. So if you have a block handy, you can come up to like a C, and we do this sometimes in my class. So I take the block and I'm gonna place it kind of mid-back, maybe a little bit higher. And then I'm just gonna start to relax onto that block. So it's like the top of the block is right between my shoulder blades. And I try to relax onto the block, and it starts to open my chest. And you can leave your feet in that bound ankle position, or you can have your legs extended long. But when you get to that block, just let your head release back gently. Try to relax in this pose. It's a little uncomfortable at first. Use your breath to help relax you. Your chest is just falling open. This is really good for us because we spend a lot of time hunched over on computers, texting, driving. So this helps to just release some of that, reverse some of that. And feel free to stay there as long as you like, or gently come up. If you have the block underneath you, you can gently release it over to the side. We're going to make our way into Shavasana, our final relaxation. So today I'm going to offer that maybe you try legs up the wall if you have a wall near you, or you can feel free to skip it and just go straight to Shavasana. So if you want to do legs up the wall, I'm going to scoot really close to the wall so that my right hip is up against like the baseboard. And then I'm just going to swing my leg up onto the wall so that my glutes are touching the wall. And my both legs are up. I feel like my glutes against the wall, my calves against the wall. And then make the top half of your body like that corpse pose. Just let your arms be out long on your sides. Maybe close your eyes. Just let it all go into the mat. Don't force the breathing. Just let everything be natural. Can you make your body quiet? Wherever you are, you're at peace. You're letting it all go. You're being heavy. Just enjoy this relaxation, this corpse pose, this legs up the wall, whatever it is for you today. Just let it all go here.
Drop the thought, I am this body. Abandon the limitation. I am only here in a specific place and time. Embrace instead, I am not my body. I am not this place. I am not this time. There is no place. There is no time. Realize, I am everywhere, sustained by infinite bliss. Trees have desires, rocks have knowledge, jugs are full of emptiness and joy. All embodied ones have this in common. All are propelled by the same one, whose pulse beats in your breast, delighting in kinship everywhere. So begin to deepen your breath. Inviting small movements back into your fingertips and your toes. If you have legs up the wall, you can gently release down, walk away from the wall. Just take your time. If you're in Shavasana, you can stretch your arms, legs out in front of you, your arms up behind you, full body stretch. We all can meet in a comfortable seat if that feels good for you. And we'll close our practice with a few rounds of deep belly breath. So exhale out all your air. Inhale through the nose. Pausing at the top. And exhale through the nose. One more, just like that big inhale. Pause. And exhale. Thank you so much for joining me on this Saturday morning, taking time out of your day to work on yourself, to support our community, even if it's just virtually. It means a lot that you're here. Thank you for coming. Let me know if you have any questions. Hope you have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy the sunshine. Namaste.
Namaste.
Woo!
Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you too. Great class.
Thanks. If anybody wants to see the studio, y'all are welcome to come by. We're just working on it.
Cool.
Oh, I saw it yesterday. Did
Huh?
he tell you I came by?
Yeah, for a minute, yeah.
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah, it's coming together. Did you see everything?
Yeah, I saw the bathrooms and
They're so huge. I guess it's like city code. They have to be that big, but it's like annoying how big they are. The toilet in this huge room, but I guess it has to be that way.
well, it'll be good for changing and showering afterwards.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, we'll put like some benches in there and stuff. And we got on Amazon and looked for like curtains and like all that stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's a big studio, so it's cool. It's really
The studio where I've done my 500-hour training, half of it I did in Gulf Shores, and it was right on the marsh, and she had outdoor showers, and they were amazing. but she's moved to a new building now and there's no showers at all. And I can't understand a studio with no showers, and I'm super excited there's going to be a place to clean up afterwards.
Yeah, those hot classes get really hot. So if like somebody wants to come and go to class after, they have to go to work. It's just a nice option.
Yeah. But it looks fantastic, and it looks like it's going to be finished soon.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We're there working, and I think the workers should be like done this weekend, and then we're just putting the little touches on it. But we can't wait to have you start teaching.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And I did the bio this morning, so I'll tell him I'll send it to him today.
Awesome. Yay.
Thank you. Good class.
Thanks. See you later. Hi, Katie. How are you?
I'm
Bye.
good. How are you?
Have a good weekend.
You too.
Let's see.